So, why is it that these weeks during the school year, when our kids have off, seem so much more chaotic than summer vacation? I don't know about you, but I always feel so thrown off, and this house was in desperate need of a reset. Just trying to prepare myself for the week ahead. That is why today's video is a cozy, real life, get it all done kind of day in my mom life. And we are going to be tackling a little bit of everything together. I am doing a whole house cleaning reset routine to get our home back in order. And in true multitasking fashion, we are also getting some food prep done for our family dinner on Sunday. I wanted to make stuffed rigatoni, and as delicious, and it's not super complicated. It is definitely one of those meals that is better made the day before rather than the day of, which is why I'm going to be making some of my homemade red sauce. We're throwing that in the slow cooker in the morning. That way it can simmer on low all day. There is nothing better than doing it in your slow cooker and just setting it and forgetting it. I also had some bananas that were about to go bad, so I had to make the decision of throwing them in the freezer or making some banana bread, and the kids voted on it, and the banana bread won. So I am putting that together, and oh my goodness, the house smelled amazing all day after that. This is just one of those productive, homey days where we cook, clean, and reset just to make the rest of the week feel a lot more manageable. My first goal of the day was just getting everything back in order, putting things away where they were supposed to go. We had a Walmart delivery show up because there was a couple things I needed for my stuffed rigatoni. So this is something I actually do every single morning. Not so much focusing on a ton of cleaning. Like, the kitchen is the main area that I do a lot more cleaning in. Just making sure the dishes are put away, the counters are wiped off, stuff like that. But I'm just trying to reset the main living area. So tidying up the kids' toys and messes. I also had a bunch of craft stuff out on the dining room table, and knowing that we had family coming over the next day, I knew I had to get that all cleaned up and put away. It's been out there for a week or so just because I've been working on stuff, and it's a lot easier to just leave it out than constantly put it away. But resetting the kitchen was one of those things, or resetting the main living area in general is one of those things that just makes the rest of the day go a lot smoother. But before moving on, I did want to get my red sauce started. Like I said, this is best done right away in the morning so that I could let it sit all day. To me, this is something that if you can make it the day before, always make it the day before. This tastes so much better when all the seasonings and everything can just sit and really develop together. I'm washing my hands real quick. I always get people that ask me if I wash my hands, and I figured I would show it because, people assume I don't. I do. I just usually cut those moments. But in my slow cooker, I did some Italian sausage and ground beef, and then I'm doing these different canned tomatoes. So I have diced tomatoes, roasted tomatoes, tomato sauce, and all of that's going in. Now, 100%, this would be so much better with freshly canned tomato sauces, but I do not have any of those. The other reason, though, why the slow cooker is great is it really does give this a much fresher taste and doesn't have so much of the canned taste. And I am not like against the canned stuff. I'm definitely one of those people that if the kids want spaghetti and I haven't planned ahead, I will just jazz up the jarred stuff from the grocery store. I have nothing against that. But if you have the time to make your own, it's amazing. So adding in all my seasonings, so Italian seasoning, garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper, just all the basics in here. And you guys know me, I don't measure. You have to measure with your heart. Everyone's a little bit different. I like things heavily seasoned, but I definitely know there are some people that don't like it heavily seasoned. So season the way that you prefer.
I just couldn't give it up. And all the time you said you wanted me, when you know we don't get along like we used to. Went along with everything you said and done for me. You'll never love me now.
And now because I had some bananas that were about to go bad on the counter, once they get to this point, the kids will not eat them, which totally fine. It's a texture thing. I'm going to throw the recipe on the screen. That way you can screenshot it if you want. I always have people asking for questions. Now, here's the other thing. I am definitely the type of person that even when it comes to baking, I kind of wing it. So those are the measurements. But I can tell you, I do it a little different every single time, depending on what I have in the house. I also go heavy-handed on the cinnamon. I love cinnamon, and I feel like cinnamon and vanilla are one of those things that you can't really overdo. But mash the bananas, added in the sugar and the seasoning and stuff, and move that all together, and then 2 eggs. I just want to get this well combined before I add any of those dry ingredients. But banana bread is delicious and honestly super, super easy to make. Now, you can jazz this up. You can add nuts or chocolate chips or whatever you want to this. You can kind of play with it. On this day, I did add some chocolate chips. That is not in the recipe because like I said, that is personal preference. If you want to add some nuts, I love banana bread with nuts. I was actually all out, so I didn't add any, but nuts, chocolate chips, whatever you want. Maybe a streusel topped if you like some of that texture and crunch would be really, really good. You can really play with it. That is one reason I love cooking and baking is I feel like you can be really creative. Once you get the basics down, it really is easy and you can then kind of do whatever you want with it. But all put together, nice and easy. So I am just going to spray my baking pan, and then I cooked this in the oven at 350 for about an hour. You do want to keep an eye on it, and you do not want to cut into this till it is fully cooled. The one thing about breads, any breads, is they keep cooking on the inside even after they're pulled out of the oven, which is why any recipe will tell you wait at least an hour before you cut into them. And I know how difficult that is. The second I pulled this out of the oven and put it on the cooling rack, I had all the kids surrounding me asking when I could cut into it. I'm like, well, 1, it's way too hot to you're going to burn your mouth on it. And 2, you have to let it sit. If you cut it too early, that's when you get that weird, not mushy, but almost feeling undercooked bread on the inside. So let it cool, serve it with some delicious butter, and you really can't go wrong. Now that I got all that done, though, it was back to just resetting the house, getting it back in order. That way I would be less stressed out on Sunday. And that was my big thing is I wanted to wake up Sunday and not be stressed out about having to clean everything before everyone shows up at 3 o'clock. So get it all done today. That way the next day I could relax and just do the basics.
If you wanna see some crazy and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, we're sure as hell funny. Yeah, everything's better with them. We're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. We don't worry about tomorrow. We just ooh, ooh, ooh. What we wanna do tonight. Waking up at sundown, the world's our playground, and we don't even have to pretend. Every time we're together, it doesn't get better, and every day's like a weekend. We're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. We don't worry about tomorrow. We just ooh, ooh, ooh. What we wanna do tonight. So don't tell me how to act or how I should be. All we wanted is to be free. We don't wanna be like you.
Man, this past week, Athena has been learning so much. I love this phase in babies because I feel like after they take their first couple steps, which she just started doing, like once they got that figured out, something clicks in their brain and they start learning so much. So she's been taking more and more steps. She's learned how to stand up without pulling herself up on things. So she is definitely following me everywhere now. This was when I told Xander, I'm like, can you keep her busy for like literally 5 minutes? I am almost done with the dining room. And I just wanted to get the like last of the stuff put away before taking a break and dealing with her. But she was definitely like, okay, Mom, pay attention to me. But so she has learned how to do that. Just the other day, literally yesterday, she learned how to climb up on Freya's bed and the couch. So I've been trying to teach her how to get off of furniture safely for months now. But I'm definitely going to have to be a lot more like diligent with her about coming off the furniture gently, so she doesn't get hurt now that she's figured out how to climb onto the furniture. But I love just, like I said, there's something about those first couple steps that once they learn those first couple steps, something clicks and they just explode with new knowledge. Now, I know for a lot of people, the bedroom is usually like their first go-to thing, but Bobby and my sleep schedule is fairly different. He stays up later than I do and sleeps in, and it has always worked for us because the kids then aren't coming to me. If it's like midnight, 1 o'clock, they're going to him because he's still up, and it allows me to sleep. And I don't know about you, but in my 13 years of being a mom, it has completely changed my sleep schedule. I used to sleep in, stay up late, sleep in, but now I am in bed. Actually, lately I've been in bed by 7 because Athena has been wanting like an hour to a half hour of snuggles before she goes to bed. She literally will crawl into our room and sit in the dark and wait for me to come in there. That way we can snuggle, watch her show, and just like unwind before I put her to bed, which I don't mind. I actually really enjoy. But I'm in bed by, like I said, nowadays 7 with her because once I put her to bed, I'm going back to bed. And asleep usually by like 10 o'clock at night, but then I'm up by 6 a.m. This is actually, it's 6 a.m. on Tuesday that I am doing this voiceover. Now, I'm not like a super productive morning person. Like, you see those people that like get up and like get laundry going, get all this stuff going. I need an hour or two to wake up before I am very productive. Like, I need my coffee. I need to like wake up. I also just really enjoy the quiet in the morning, but I'm up usually 5:30, 6 a.m. The only reason I have never done like a morning routine that early in the morning is it is not motivating. It is not. I am up on my sofa, scrolling through something or watching something on the TV and just sipping my coffee. I love watching productive morning routines, and I see these women that like get up and have all this energy like instantly, which I don't know how is humanly possible and always makes me so jealous. I am not that way. Like I said, I am a morning person in the fact that my eyes are open around 5:36 a.m., but I am not being productive till usually about 7:38. Honestly, even this voiceover is more than what I normally do in the morning. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. And if there are other people out there like me, let me know. Like, you're a morning person in the fact of you get up early, but you are not a morning person in the way that you are productive in the morning. Because that is me. Like, I am productive in the morning. I still get so much done before Bobby's even out of bed, because he usually sleeps till like 10, 11 o'clock, depending on the day, which, like I said, I don't mind. He stays up late and takes on those like nighttime situations with the kids. And I'll be honest, it's a lot easier getting stuff done when it's just me. Like, when the kids are at school and Bobby's in bed, and I usually have Athena, but I can still just feel like I can get stuff done a lot easier in the morning when I'm not constantly being asked questions and interrupted, and distracted. But all that to be said, that was a lot to say that my room is not the first thing done most days. Usually I'm doing the main living area. That way that whole part of the house is done while Bobby is still sleeping.
Girlfriend, you got me smiling brighter each day. Stars are brighter, I feel lighter in every way. Girlfriend, there's no one like you when it comes to loving. Life is richer, lips are sweeter. Now listen, stay and let's figure out where to go and how about family, new history. Here I go, dreaming. You got me going wilder than wild. Girlfriend, there's nothing that can stop us. Oh, you got me winning my laughter mind. No, there's nothing that I can do with you.
Oh, watching me vacuum made me think. I just had someone ask me the other day where my Shark Duo went. Because you guys know, when you guys message me about recommendations when it comes to vacuums, I often will say the Shark Duo because I have loved the Shark Duo. However, I use my vacuums a lot. Like a lot. And I usually go through vacuums about every 3 years. I clean the filters, replace the filters, and there just comes a time where the filters just get to a point where there's no cleaning them anymore. They're just not giving me the same suction. It's usually not even the motors, it's purely the filters. So that is why I don't have my Shark Duo anymore. And I like to try out different brands. I do have my current vacuum linked in the description box below because I have really been liking it. But you guys asked me so many times about different vacuums that I like to try new ones. But yeah, that is where my Shark Duo, it was about 4 years old and it was time to replace it. But I am now working on my cheese mixture that I'm going to stuff my pasta with. Okay, now I know this is controversial. I don't like ricotta. I don't like the texture. I don't like the taste. I saw someone the other day that was not happy seeing someone make lasagna with cottage cheese, and I am one of those people. I make my lasagna, my stuffed pasta with cottage cheese. And it is purely just because I don't like ricotta. Like I said, don't like the texture, don't like the taste, never have. So if you are someone that doesn't like it either, sorry, can't talk. Like I said, it's 6 a.m. Give me a little bit of a break here. If you are someone that doesn't like ricotta, I highly recommend trying cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese, and I feel like it works really well. I also know a lot of people that do like a 50-50 mix of ricotta and cottage cheese. But for my cheese mixture, very easy. I use ricotta, mozzarella, Parmesan, all my seasonings that I used before. So the garlic, the salt, the onion powder, Italian seasoning. I'm putting in some fresh basil. And then I did want to chop up some spinach in here as well. So not a lot. This would definitely be easier if I steamed it first, but it's not really a big deal. So I just gave it a rough chop. That way it would mix in. I didn't want like giant pieces of spinach. I just kind of wanted it mixed in with the rest of it. Oh, and 2 eggs. 2 eggs. Also, if my eggs look a little funny, I do have fresh duck eggs. So I always have to tell people because my eggs are not pretty pristine white eggs you get from the grocery store, and that is why. Now, the nice thing about that is we don't have any food waste in our house. Like on days that I clean out our refrigerator for leftovers, my ducks love me because all of that goes out to them. We do not throw out any food in this house unless it is actually gone bad. That is the only time we actually throw it out. But starting to boil my pasta now, you do not want to fully cook these. You just want to make them very, very, very al dente. So on my pan, the red sauce that I made earlier, I also don't mind if I made too much red sauce because I can just put this in something and use it in multiple different recipes. So that is why I always make a big thing of red sauce. But since it was for family dinner, I also knew we would have a house full of people, more than just our family of 6. And not only did I make this big pan, but I also made a smaller pan of the rigatoni, and it went over so well. There's nothing better than like a good homemade pasta dish. It just tastes so good. Now I do have this really sped up when it comes to filling these. With adding the spinach, made it a little bit more difficult to fill them just because the spinach wanted to keep clogging my piping bag while I was doing this. But I got it done. But the spinach was making my life extra difficult on this day. But that's literally all I'm doing is filling them all up, and then I will top them off with some cheese and a little bit more of the sauce, and then cover it. That way I can throw it in the oven the next day, and it really doesn't take that long to cook. I think I cooked mine at 350 covered for about 30 minutes to an hour. It didn't need a crazy amount because pretty much everything is cooked. The sauce is cooked and everything. The pasta is mostly cooked, so literally just popping it in the oven to make sure it was ready for everyone to show up. But that is why I wanted to do this the day before, is I knew it would just make life so much easier. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Share this video with a friend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.